Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out Simo Häyhä. I don't know how to pronounce the name. The real life sniper with 500 plus KD ratio by Mitzi Studio. So for those of you who don't know, quick rundown. Finnish guy, sniper during the Finno-Russian War in 1939. And he got a lot of kills. I think he has the most kills of any sniper. Anyway, let's see what Mitzi has to say about him.
This is Finland. And this is Finland, November 1939. Very cold. Ooh, yes. Ooh. Besides the cold, the night's darkness looms over a vast, snow-covered forest that looks just as endless as the piles of dead comrades.
And Russians are being killed left and right.
Oh yes, you are all that is left of yet another decimated Russian platoon sent out to kill or capture one particular Finnish sniper. His name, Simo Häyhä, or better known as the White Death, or the Kolan Kauhu, meaning the terror of Kola. I'm sorry, lonely Russian soldier, I know this doesn't sound good.
He's about to get...
Oh shit, there goes another one. Anyone else fancy a go? Anyway,
I'm quite sure they tried to use artillery against them.
Before the outbreak of war, Simo grew up in a largely
and it still didn't work.
Farming family with 8 children. As a kid, he helped out his family on the farm, tending livestock, working fields, and cutting wood.
Pretty normal life.
You know, Bear Grylls kind of stuff, but then in minus 40 degrees.
What is that?
Again. Brr. Simo's story didn't begin with the war. His upbringing, family background, and the harsh geography played a crucial role in shaping who he became. After some time, Simo completed his compulsory military training in the Finnish army. However, he kept himself active in training by joining the Civil Guard. His agenda was basically Farm Simulator during the week and Sniper Elite 5 over the long weekend. I guess you can say it didn't take a very long time before people started to notice Simo's scouting capabilities and his insane level of marksmanship. He happily showed off his ability to fire his bolt-action rifle 16 times under a minute while maintaining complete accuracy.
To fire a bolt-action rifle 16 times in a minute?
Weapons, gay. Reloading a 1939 bolt-action rifle is like opening and closing a frickin' pet carrier just to get the next round ready to fire. And this guy did that in less than a minute, 16 times. And I did not mention you also need to slap in an extra 2 5-round magazines as well. Holy shit, this guy is above human. Behold the Finnish Messiah of death and destruction, shout out with the prayers and thoughts for those who are about to die, and with those I mean the Soviet army. LOL. So, by the time war did break out, Simo was more than ready to immediately respond to a swift Russian military invasion. Actually, he was more or less on a skiing trip and figured out shit hit the fan 24 hours later.
Oh!
Despite being late for work, he immediately reported to his commander,
I didn't know that.
Who was at the front line, sitting in a rocking chair giving orders like some sort of Finnish après-ski version of a mob boss. During the following days, his commander sent Simo out on reconnaissance missions and for support of infantry defenses.
I think he also had some...
time, word got back to the commander.
I think he also had some kills with weapons other than the sniper rifle, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
At any place Simo went, everything that looked Russian died. His long white overcoat made him difficult to spot while he quickly moved around the lines on his wooden skis. Additionally, the measures he took to prepare concealed positions were completely out of this world.
Yeah, something like this would never work today.
For starters, he sprinkled the area around his rifle with water.
Mainly due to drones.
The snow around him into ice.
You know, infrared,
this
that
way,
kind of
firing,
stuff.
The muzzle blast would not kick up any snow particles, revealing his position. I know. Smart thinking for a farm boy.
Just because he's a farm boy doesn't mean he's dumb.
His breath wouldn't be visible. While chilling in his top-down igloo with a George Floyd invisible breath, he waited patiently for the Russian infantry to just show up. And when the Russian infantry did show up, soldier after soldier was shot dead. It wasn't uncommon for him to kill between 10 to 20 guys on the same day.
Jesus Christ.
With kill counts like this,
can you imagine killing 20 people in a single day, but you're not going to receive a punishment for it because you're fighting a war and you're killing the enemy? I mean, I just can't imagine killing a single person, but 20 in a single day. Up to 20.
Simo started to gain notoriety with the Soviet army, who in turn was getting quite frustrated with the whole situation. As a response, they sent in multiple counter-sniper teams to eliminate the threat.
I'm quite sure he eliminated them as well.
What's going to happen next? Everyone got killed. At this point, the Russians didn't even receive a sighting report locating the Finnish sniper. Therefore,
Damn.
the Russians dubbed him Bileya Śmierć, the White Death. This complete onslaught went on for a while longer, until the Soviets finally had enough and decided to just move their troops around the region where Simo was operating.
I mean, he can just move as well.
Now, you don't need to be a tactical genius to understand that a plan like that isn't going to work.
Exactly. I do wonder just how much he actually slowed down the Russians, because he is just one man. The Finnish-Russian border is big, so obviously he can only be in one place at a time, and he can only do so much. So on a bigger scale, when you take the whole war into consideration, he didn't do that much, because one man's not going to stop an army, obviously. But he did have the most kills.
It's like a brain surgeon saying to his patient, "We are just going to ignore this baseball-sized tumor on your forehead, look somewhere else, and hope for the best." Well, surprise, surprise, the best, with a guy like Simo around, is pretty fucking far from the best. When he figured out the Russians were chicken-shitting their way out of the area, he appointed his sniper buddies to grab their skis and start looking for the enemy. While skiing down the snowy slopes, it didn't take a lot of time for them to fight the enemy. They dismounted and took positions overlooking a Russian camp, where soldiers were eating, drinking, and celebrating a day without dying to an invisible ghost. Oh yes, the irony. These celebrations, along
Why
with
would
the
you
soldiers
drink
themselves, were short-lived,
during war?
as one after the other fell face down in the snow, dead as a dingo. With all
If you're drinking during a war, while in an active combat zone, it's like you're asking to die.
this carnage,
But then again,
became
these are
pretty clear
the
for Soviet
Russians,
commanders,
so...
Simo wasn't going to back down. So, they intensified their efforts again, trying to take him out. This time, they sent out forward observers, calling in artillery to fire a barrage in the
I'm quite sure
general
he received
direction
some
the
damage
Soviets
from
expected
shrapnel.
Simo to be. Since these tactics were still based on a bunch of guesswork, the artillery failed to score a single hit. In an act of ultimate desperation, the Russian commanders hoped that sheer numbers, by sending in waves
I
of
know
men,
he
would overwhelm the
received
Finnish
some
sniper team.
damage.
Instead, it created a snowball effect. Sorry for the pun. And
Unless it
Simo's
was from a
kill
different
stats were
sniper,
going
I don't know.
Absolutely bonkers, even by his own standards. He shot and killed 25 enemy soldiers in a single day. Some of them operating as counter-snipers sent out just to look for him. Many of these snipers were shot because their telescopic scopes created glares. This was another problem
And
Simo
that wasn't a
eliminated
problem
himself
for him.
by using iron sights. Again, like a boss.
That just makes it even more impressive,
Whole
the fact he hit
platoons and
those
even
shots.
companies struggled with casualty rates just because of this
With
one
a damn
guy.
iron
a guy
sight.
who they couldn't even sights. Again, like a boss. Whole platoons and even companies struggled with casualty rates just because of this one guy. A guy who they couldn't even fucking see. The Soviets reportedly placed bounties on Häyhä's head,
Kill this
aiming to
suka.
incentivize soldiers to take him out. Although when everybody around you is dead and you're sent in to kill the guy, I'm not sure one needs
You're
any
next.
extra incentive to get the job done. The winter war between the USSR and Finland dragged on for multiple months, and despite being outnumbered by more than 1 million soldiers, the Finnish army inflicted huge losses to the Soviet ground army. Despite the success, death, and carnage created by Häyhä and his men, eventually a Russian soldier spotted his position and fired an explosive bullet into his jaw, basically turning the lower part of his face into a sloppy joke. With half of his head being sort of not
I thought it
there,
was his
Simo
cheek.
fell into a coma for 11 days. Finnish field medics and doctors
I didn't realize it was a
stabilized him
direct
and performed
hit.
surgery to remove shrapnel and prevent infection. When he woke up, he learned the winter war with the USSR was over.
Oh.
The Finns basically had to hand over a bit of land to the Russians in order to keep their independence. Maybe the 400,000 plus casualties inflicted upon the Soviet army helped a bit there. Besides
I wonder
having
how many
half
the
his face
Finns
blown
suffered.
off, there was more sad news for Simo. His farm was actually on the land that was given away.
Ah.
But the Finnish government thought Simo was very helpful in killing many invaders. And so they just gave him a new farm.
Yeah, I would have given him a free farm
Since he killed
too.
more than 500 plus guys, they better have given him a big-ass farm.
Yeah.
They also passed him an honorary...
I mean, if I was the leader of Finland at the time, this guy killed a lot of Russians. I'm giving him stuff. He deserves it. He needs a prize for all his good hard work.
rifle and a bunch of medals to show bravery, balls, heroism, etc.
Just a medal with a golden pair of balls.
Credit. That's why we've set up a fitting ceremonial occasion to give this man some proper medals. Thank you, Simo Häyhä, for your service and for showing a bunch of bravery. Therefore, we would like to honor you by presenting these Mitzi medals. First is the Simo Slayer. Then we have for you the Finish Him medal, the Glacial Superiority medal.
He's him.
The Simo medal, the Dipolar Disorder medal, the Red Army Dead Army medal. And the
I
medal
love
for
that
just
one.
being an
That one's
absolute
great.
fucking end boss. Later in the war, the Finns buddied up with the Nazis fighting the Soviets.
Not
They
surprising.
became best friends because Finland invented the swastika first. Not that it has anything to do with this story, but we are just addicted to Nazi references, just like the rest of the internet. Get over it. Anyway, despite Finland whipping their behinds with the Moscow Peace Treaty, Simo did not return to frontline service. If he would have, he probably single-handedly would have skied into Moscow, a middle
Yeah,
finger in the
probably.
air while machine gunning every motherfucker on Red Square. But instead, Simo just laid back and just did some farming. Still, like a boss, and he lived to an old age of 96.
96.
Exactly what you would expect.
Damn.
The world's most deadly sniper was never very talkative about the war, but he once said, "I did what I was told as well as I could." Well, Simo, I think you did well enough.
I mean, I highly doubt anyone would want to talk about how many people they killed. If I was a soldier and I was killing enemy soldiers, I don't really think I would want to talk about that with anyone. Like, yes, I killed them. That was just part of the job. It's them or us. You know, it's kill or be killed. That's what every soldier does. The only reason why Simo got so much popularity is because he killed so many. But yeah, highly doubt anyone would want to talk about their kills. Yeah, the Winter War was just a failure for the Soviets. Yes, they technically won, but they didn't get that much land. They didn't conquer all of Finland. So I wouldn't really call that a win. It was an embarrassment, just like Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Pretty much just a total failure. They expected to steamroll the whole country, and instead they've been stuck for... How long has it been? 3.5 years? I mean, we're getting close to 4 years, I think. It started in 2022, but I don't know what month. Was it February? I think February. So yeah, we're getting close to 4 years now. And not much has really changed. And in this war, the Russians had enough sense to actually know when to cut their losses. And unlike now in their invasion of Ukraine, where they just keep throwing soldiers at the Ukrainians and they just keep dying. Obviously, the Ukrainians are suffering losses too, but so are the Russians. Can't say I have any sympathy for them. I really don't. I couldn't care less. It is what it is. We'll just keep seeing the numbers go higher. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions, check out this video right here. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.